What's up, people? You're locked into the 2 Pro 1 Slow podcast. Brought to you by kexunderwear.com. The best underwear in the action sport game.
Right, we're back, episode 17, and we've got Tommy, Doc Wob, and Dave King from Vmxdn. Have I got that right?
You got it exactly right.
Vmxdn Foxhill.
Correct.
Foxhills. Not Foxhills.
People get the arse if you say Foxhills. You can't say that.
We're going to need that moved up again, Wob.
I told you. Better?
That's better. It's dropping. I don't think it's tight enough.
This is hard graft. These
grab the mic and then tweak it like that. That's better. Right, so, well, if you're watching this, which you should be because it's better to watch it than listen to it, you can see we've got a stripped 2002 bike, is that?
It's an 02, yeah. That's Tommy's next beast.
So we've just
Hopefully
filmed a
you've watched the vlog.
Well, we've just filmed it, but yeah, maybe this will be out at the same time.
Oh, yeah, either or. So if this is out before the vlog, then watch my vlog. If you've watched my vlog, then thanks for coming and watching this. But the idea of having Wob up is he's brought me this bike. Obviously, if you've seen the vlog again, we're building a 2002 bike, very similar to what we've done the last bike build. I'd imagine a lot of you have seen that. And this one is going to be a Carmichael replica Woody Woodpecker, is it?
Yeah, that's the plan. Woody Woodpecker, factory under looking. 02 because the class you're going to be racing at Foxhills is oldest bike you can ride.
Well, and that's 02 is pretty much when the two-stroke died at the MXGPs, so that's where we thought.
Yeah, that's the last year, isn't it? Because next year Carmichael Road 2003, as far as I'm aware. But that's the other thing. So we've done the vlog today on the bike. I'm building a 2002, Wob's building a 2002 bike. And the reason being is because we chose that one because Dave and Wob are now hosting a new event or running a new event, and it's at Foxhills.
Well, it's not really a new event.
Okay.
I've been involved since 2009.
Yeah.
It was my creation, if you want. I think.
And that's the event
that was at Farley Castle, which is now going to be at Foxhill.
Okay.
And what we've done is we've moved on a little bit because it was all getting a bit stale. And I think a lot of younger guys want to have a chance. And also, they went up to a Super Evo, which is 97, 96. And so we thought, we'd give the kids a chance.
Oh.
And also, people were spending far too much money on the bikes. And by opening the classes up, reducing the age limit so the younger kids can ride, and also making the bikes up to 08. There's a class from 02 to 08. And that means you can go and buy a bike for $2,500, spend a couple of grand on it, and go and race a competitive bike.
So you've changed the rules from the other race. So
we haven't changed them, we just moved on. Basically, when Dave started Farley, we don't want to keep talking about it, but when Dave started Farley, it was 09, and the Evo class was 89.
Okay.
So that was the newest bike. So now we're on 11, 12 years. So it's time.
Okay. 89 was the latest newest bike you could ride.
Correct.
Yeah. And so that 20 years. So now for the class that Tom is going to race, which is 02, it's in 22.
Right.
That's the magic
so
number.
now you can buy an 02, and anyone can buy it.
You can buy an 07.
There's another class.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
the class I'm going to race in is up to
02.
Up to 02. So I'm on the limit.
Okay, so you can do an 07 onwards, an 02 onwards to 07
as well.
Yeah.
Right.
New class.
Pretty much when the Japanese stopped making two-strokes, apart from Yamaha.
Only two-stroke.
Okay, only two-stroke.
Only two-stroke.
And anyone can enter?
Anyone can enter, yeah.
Any age, that class?
So we've got our normal age-related classes and bike-related classes, but we've got two classes, which is 1997 to 2002 and 2003 to 2008. So if you're you hold an adult license, if you're 16, you've got an adult license, you can ride that bike with us. So there's only two classes. So the event will still be really filled with old boys. But there'll be two classes for the younger guys. But those bikes are still...
We've got three classes, which is called the Evo, which is up to the 89, which is the really common class. Mm-hmm. But those things now cost 10, 15 grand to build. They're
that's thanks to you. You've outpriced the class.
Yeah, they have, actually. That's you. 10, 15 grand in your pocket every time they build one.
Don't blame me. And then there's the Super Evo, which is up to 96, which is good because then you can ride that stuff. And then we've got Evo Plus and Super... what do we call it? Evo Plus and...
You came up with the names.
I did.
It was like petrol, wasn't it? It was Super Plus or
So these bikes
Premium.
as well, you're going to race
Something
that
like that.
older class as well.
That's called Super Evo.
Oh, so it's due to be a good weekend then.
Yeah, you can ride anything. There's like 4 classes.
And I'm guessing the whole Doc Wob setup's going to be there. You're going to bring all the best riders.
All the
and
Americans. We've got 2 we can announce. We've got Villopoto and Mike Brown, which is 2/3 of the team. We've got the third guy is confirmed, but he's under contract for another 2 weeks.
We can't give out his name just yet.
Well, when's this going to be out? I might just leak his name now for you.
You're not
it's
allowed
going to be
to.
out in the
No,
new
we're
year.
not.
No,
I'm quite
not-
looking forward
not
to
for
racing
another-
him. Wob told me earlier.
I know what they can do then. As soon as they're not allowed to, we're not allowed to tell them. They can guess.
Oh,
You can guess in the comments.
So bang it in the comments, and we'll see if you're right.
No, well, he's super keen.
He's not the tallest,
Definitely.
and he's recently retired.
No, you're not allowed to say
Was that too much info? No, that could have been loads of people.
Well, technically, I don't think he's retired yet. That's probably the issue.
Oh no, he has. He's done it. They've released all that.
But you're going to have your hands full, kid. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, no. Well, when you were saying about 2002, I was thinking, I'm sort of pushing it. That's like at the top end of where we're at, and I'm cheating a little bit there. But now you've told me Villopoto is also on a 2002, so now and
the 2002 Honda didn't change much from 2002 to 2007 when they stopped making them. There's
So I'm
quite a
basically on
change from 01
2007.
to 02, so you're on the newest.
Yeah,
with a modified motor, which incidentally,
yeah. No, I'm feeling confident now.
You're going to be checking the VIN numbers, making sure they are
Yes,
O2s.
we are. Well, we got
Absolutely.
the scrutineers going to be checking the VINs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sort of have to, don't
Yeah,
you?
no,
yeah.
totally. Because
Especially on
people
Yamahas.
will push the envelope. And people will
Yeah.
cheat.
Yamaha,
people do.
That's motorcycle sport.
You could be on a 2020 Yamaha 250 and wouldn't know the difference. But you want to grind the VIN number off and that's
what?
up to you.
What the Yamaha 2-stroke that's still out now?
Same thing, yeah.
It's the same bike.
Is it?
Yeah.
Everyone still raves about that bike now.
I think I might enter on one of them then.
It must. Yeah, that'd be a
The
good
only
race
thing
for
is with
you.
the O2, that were built for Ryan, is it's a steel frame, and actually, many say the steel frame's a nicer bike to ride than the aluminium frame.
Yeah, but the Yamaha that's out now is a alley frame.
Alley frame, yeah.
Oh, so that's all that's changed.
Yeah, they changed in 05, so you can race that in the newer class.
Oh, okay.
So normally I come to you with the riders and I say, Wobbs, I need 4 bikes.
Yeah.
This year,
Can you bang that mic across a little bit
sorry.
towards you?
Sorry, this year you're actually picking the riders as well. So how many bikes have you got to prepare this year?
Well, there's one for Tommy, and then 3 Americans at the moment, and then maybe there's a couple of others. But I have had a few Grand Prix mechanics, former Grand Prix mechanics, approach me saying, let me know what you want me to build, I'll build something.
Oh, they want to get involved.
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 really good guys who I trust who want to build some stuff. So that's really cool.
Well, if you need anything, I can.
Yeah, I
build
appreciate
bits.
your spanner skills.
Can't we get
Second to
Billy
none.
involved in some way?
I'd love to get Billy there, but he's going to have to ride Husqvarna. I mean, they weren't the best thing.
I thought there's no 4-strokes either, so that 610's out of the question.
That bike would be eligible for the Super Evo group.
Oh, okay.
We're allowing 4-strokes
Yeah.
into the Super Evo, which is up to 96, so you can have some of them exotic European bikes, your Vertematis or a Husserberg. What we don't want is the newer classes full of a CRF
400s,
CRF 450
Yeah.
and 4s fighting around
Yeah.
the place. I don't want that.
No, that'd ruin it.
Yeah, so we're going to keep them 2-stroke only, because I don't think there's going to be a problem filling them classes with guys who want to ride an 06 RM250,
No.
which is a good tool.
It's going to be nice to see the bikes coming out the woodworks. Like I'm sure there's going to be plenty getting snapped up on eBay, and then
Oh, since we've announced this, 3 weeks ago, you've only got to look on eBay.
Is everything missing?
The price of them has gone ballistic.
Well, there's now a class to ride them, isn't there? And what we're doing as well is people like to look at each other's bikes. So we're doing, when we had the meeting with the ACU guys, they're like, oh, we don't need to do scrutineer. And I'm like, yes, we do.
Yeah.
We want the full-on scrutineer. And
it's
I
a
want
full
the bikes-
ACU event.
I want the
Yeah,
bikes. Yeah,
Yes.
I want the bikes weighed, noise tested.
Yeah, that
We
is
want the
for
full
us.
Friday experience. That's the
me
big
and
deal for
Wobbs
us.
Yeah, I
love
think that's
that,
nice walking up to scrutineer, and it's all part of it.
Exactly.
How cool's that? For
It makes you feel like you're at a race.
Yeah,
Totally.
you check each other's stuff out, and fingers crossed the weather's going to be all right because it's August bank holiday. You never know, but
We never know any time, but the chances are it'd be great.
we're going to have some hoodies in air boxes to keep the noise down.
you're gonna might have a 19mm impact socket between the pipe and the silencer. That's what we used to do.
Yeah, actually, that's true. People are going to be cheating on the noise. No, I think the noisier the better on the 2-stroke. You can't have it. What's the limit on a 2-stroke?
98, isn't it? Is it
I don't
98?
know.
Would you have to
Speak
keep
to
it the same still for that?
Speak to
Yeah,
Andy.
because we're going to be an FIM event.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to be inscribed on the calendar, so we'll have to comply to all of the all of the rules.
We're trying to get Andy Summers, the FIM chief scrutineer, to do the scrutineer.
Yeah, I know Andy.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Andy wants to come, and there's talk. I haven't mentioned this to you yet.
Andy's the face
Andy's
of doom,
actually-
isn't he? If he gives you that when you come off the track.
we're in
Oh,
trouble.
dear.
yeah.
exactly.
Because it's his son that.
His son,
Stuart.
Stu
Yeah.
does some bikes for us. He's mega, but Andy is actually a DJ as well, and I've spoke to him about doing the after party Sunday.
Andy
night.
Summers.
No way.
Yeah,
He's DJ.
he's DJ.
Fucking
he gives
hell.
it all this.
Oh, we've got an after party.
You got an after party Sunday night, kid. You can't
It's
be
been,
going
I've not raced a race
Well,
with
'cause
an
the-
after party for a long time.
The Monday is a bank holiday.
Bank holiday Monday. Don't go leaving.
So Monday, there's no reason to rush home.
So a big piss
we'll
up
be doing
Sunday night.
burnouts in the burnouts
Yeah,
in
that'd
the
be
beer
fucking-
tent and all that stuff, kid.
Yeah. So
Fucking
we
crack
we
on.
actually open Thursday at 12 o'clock. So you can be there for
The weekend.
Yeah.
Thursday,
Not
Friday,
for the
Saturday,
weekend.
Sunday,
You've got 4
Monday.
days
Yeah,
there.
4 days.
4 days.
Like the festival.
It
Yeah.
is.
Nice.
And then all you're getting people complain that we're charging 50 quid for camping for 4 days.
No,
Nah,
I
that's
think,
good
It's
value.
for nothing.
It's for nothing. You know,
especially if the weather's mint, that's going to be a proper good weekend.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
You couldn't pick a weekend that you know is going to be good weather.
Nah,
could you?
but
It's
still
nice
August.
that weekend was free and you've managed to get it from everything.
It was totally by chance, but we had it dictated to us because me and Wobbs are involved with the Langrish Club,
Yeah.
and the head of the Langrish Club is Chris Warren, who who works
Yeah.
at the Grand Prix. So it had to be on a weekend where he wasn't committed at the Grand Prix,
So it literally just
and that
worked
was it. That
perfect.
was the one weekend.
This doesn't clash with
It
British
doesn't-
Motocross,
no.
MX Nationals,
Nothing.
nothing.
So the thing that me and Wob have found over the last 3 weeks since we've announced this, that the support within the industry and within the other established event organisers has been
Crazy.
crazy. They've
Yeah, it's
been
cool,
full
isn't
on
it?
for us, and they've worked with us to make it a free weekend.
Yeah, because Paul Irwin from MX Nationals
Yeah.
was going to put a race on that weekend, and then he heard what we're doing, so he's not.
West
Wow,
Coast,
that's
that's
nice.
nice.
Yeah,
I
which
mean,
is
it's
nice,
the way
yeah.
to do it. I mean, why would you clash? It's nice, I think, with this race. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Even whatever the thing, I think it's
You
something
better just
different.
make sure that you do some winning at the British Championship,
Yeah, I would
so
need
Dave
to win.
lets you go and
The
ride
British
it.
Championship finishes, I think, the week before.
Yeah.
So I'll have to keep Dave happy and win that early, or win that, and then I think he'll let me. But either way, it's a nice. Something to look forward to because it's different as me,
Oh,
you know,
totally.
as a rider, and I think you're going to get so many riders that are in the British Championship as well compete because I think once the ball starts rolling and people see other people doing it, they're going to
Yeah,
not
what
want
we're
to miss
getting
it.
Is a few other teams who have seen what you've done with the 250 Honda we've done, and they know they can buy themselves an 07, 08, for example, YZ250, use all their sponsors to build the bike nice, do some videos with it.
Yeah, make
Everybody loves a two-stroke, don't they? They
Yeah.
all love a
Yeah,
two-stroke.
even the press release for Jackie Martin's Honda the other day, they just released their new riders yesterday. That they've got like the old Honda two-stroke in the picture.
Oh,
So,
really?
like, yeah, it looks nice.
they love it.
But really old. Like I wouldn't even like to put but like 1970. I would imagine.
Oh, have they? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cool.
or 80s maybe. Maybe I've gone.
But I mean, like the good thing, like hopefully with your team, I've spoke to Dave, and obviously the first thing I asked him was, is it okay for Tommy to ride? He didn't say yes, but he definitely didn't say no either. So
I think he understands and he likes all that. It was his era as well. Do you know?
Yeah,
He's a legend
absolutely.
in that.
We'll get him on a
in that
parade lap
pits.
or not?
of course we are, absolutely. No, if we haven't actually agreed with Dave yet to get him there, but we will do through the year. I talked to Dave and we'll sort something out.
There's a lot of stuff we're trying to do. I'm trying to get, for example, an idea is to get the 94 Donations team back together.
Wicked.
So
Yeah,
get
that's
Malin,
very
Herring,
doable.
Get Malin, Herring and Kurt, and obviously Dave was team manager.
Carl Nunn, he needs to come race it.
We've already
That'd be
spoke to
good.
Yeah,
Carl.
we've spoken to Carl.
What did he say?
He said he hasn't got a bike, and I'm like, don't you worry about a bike,
Yeah.
son. We got plenty.
Yeah.
Has
of
he not got a bike at all nowadays?
No,
He said.
much like yourself, doesn't even own one.
We've spoken to
oh,
Robbie
yeah.
Herring, and Robbie is definitely in for it as long as he's got his filming commitments allow.
I like Rob. Spent a lot of time with
Yeah,
with,
Rob's
with
a good
Rob.
guy.
Ed used to.
Good guy.
Ed.
I trained a lot with him. Not that it paid off. 'Cause I'm
Rob
shit,
taught
but-
Ed everything he knows, which is not really much credit to Rob, but
No, he's a good lad.
One of the first times I ever spoke to Rob was on a ferry home from 88, it would have been. And I'm with Merv, and we're on a ferry, and he's just there, and I'm sitting there tired, and he's come up, and I'm like, all right, kid, I hardly knew him. I recognised me from the British Championships, whatever. I'm like, where you been? Oh, I rode a GP in France. Oh, any good? Yeah, I did all right. And that was the end of it. And then we went and got a pie and chips, whatever you do on a ferry. And I get the motorcycle news on the Wednesday, and he's won both fucking races.
really,
I'm like,
Who was
talk about discreet, like Herring. And he's sitting there giving, I did all right.
Yeah, it's good.
Wasn't that he was not underachieved, but everyone used to say he was unbelievable.
Oh, he's
Like,
gifted,
God. That kid
absolutely
could ride a
gifted
bike,
on a
yeah.
bike.
So when you say you're attempting to get the team back together, does that mean to race or
No,
just to
no,
come and have a
definitely
ride?
not.
Just stand there and have some pictures taken,
Yeah.
maybe do some posters
I don't
and
think.
stuff.
Sorry, I can't nothing in this mind.
It's not been done before.
Rob doesn't ride anymore, does he? Or he does his
rides
film
a
stuff.
little.
Oh, I think he does ride because his son does a bit.
Yeah, I think he does with a bit with his son, and he raced for me at Farley probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, so
I
he's
think
still-
he had a big accident, a big crash there. I think from memory up in the woods, and I think it probably
Scared him.
you know.
It does, doesn't
We
it?
can do like a parade lap
Yeah.
thing, or a
Dobby
legends
could
thing.
get his fucking
Oh, dear.
KTM 125 back out his
could.
living room.
You could, yeah, that'd be a right racer.
That big, actually good.
I'd love to have Jamie.
We've spoken
down
to
there.
a few teams. We spoke to the Milwaukee Hitachi guys about building a bike for Conrad to come and race.
No, don't do that. He can't. There's no
He wouldn't be in your
KTM.
cla- He wouldn't be in your class. No, KTM in 07, 08 wasn't a bad bike.
No, they were a good bike. The 125.
125, 125.
Ah, fuck.
no,
Yeah, I
it's a good
forgot.
tool. You
Yeah, he
forget
wouldn't
they
be in
weren't-
my class.
He wouldn't be in your class.
He
He'd be
can
in
come,
the
yeah.
modern class. But you got to think, Conrad on an 07, 08, 125.
They're
would
normally
be a sight
up
to
for
see.
stuff like that, though.
Oh yeah, they're up for it. But it's just got to be.
It's got to work.
It's got to
timing-wise,
work.
It's got to work for them. There's a
For
lot
them
of
guys
work.
to bring the truck all the way from Belgium for one weekend
Yeah.
just for an
Yeah,
old vintage
so,
race.
yeah.
It's all right if it's already in the UK, but
Well, obviously, you don't really want to say, and you can't say as to who's coming, but if there's ever someone that can make it happen, you're the man to get some
we're
big
trying.
names
We've got
there.
a lot of interest. I mean, the Belgian guys are talking Kevin Strybos, Clement de Sal and Smets. That's their team.
It's a strong
It's
team.
not so, I mean, Jesus.
That is a strong team.
That's
And,
very strong.
I
team.
know we got Paulin asking about it. We got Pichon, who's a definite maybe.
Billy Mack.
Billy Mack,
Billy is flat out for it.
Sean Simpson.
Billy's always going to be
gonna be-
keen for it. He
There's going to be
loves
some
it.
players there.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and with
good.
the Americans we got as well. Everybody loves the Yank, don't they?
Tell you what, it'd be a good weekend to do some autograph.
In my experience of doing,
Yeah, it would. That's going to be like the.
it'd be like the
this-
who's who of motocross.
Yeah.
It's going to be big, yeah.
oh, it is.
And the more people
Caroli.
come,
Shall I speak to him for you?
speak to him.
Yes, please.
Speak to him. I know you spoke to Chody and he's not coming, is he?
He hasn't said no.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not. No, I've had somebody
I
speak
wonder
to
why he
him.
wouldn't come. He normally loves all that, doesn't he?
He was a
Only
boy
because
man.
of racing commitments himself.
Oh,
He still
okay.
does a lot, doesn't he?
If he's not racing himself, he'll be training somebody, won't he?
Yeah.
That's the problem we've got with a lot of guys.
Yeah.
That especially GP. For me, it's always been easier to get an American to come over than as a European.
We
Really?
need to get Boris there, didn't we?
Because
Spoke to
most-
Boris.
Yeah.
Who?
Boris was mad fast
Justin
around there, wasn't he?
Morris.
Justin Morris.
Oh yeah, no,
he was
absolutely.
crazy fast around there.
Absolutely.
He'll
You
come for
probably
a
don't
bottle
know
of
him.
wine.
He's a ginger, like,
No, I
walks
do
around
know
the
him.
paddock
Oh, I've had
fucking
more fun with
talking
Justin Morris
shit.
than any rider in existence.
We're going to get him on one of these soon.
Oh, he's chaos.
He
man.
come on
He's
Tommy's
the
stag
funniest.
do and he did
It'd
not
actually be
stop.
quite good to have you
Funniest.
and Justin on so you could talk about the
Oh,
stories.
I don't
Because
know.
if one person's talking stories, it's one thing, but then if you've got the other person that are involved, then they can.
I catch myself. I'm talking to the lads who work for me and Daisy and whatever, and I'm telling them stories, and I'm halfway through and thinking, this sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
And I have to throw a name out there to justify it.
So
Who
someone
you were
says,
with?
yeah.
The stories I tell are normally not good enough, so I add a bit of bullshit.
Well, a bit of pepper on
Yeah,
top.
just sort of bit of salt and pepper on the story to fucking exaggerate a bit.
Before we get well off topic, you mentioned earlier that the things that you're trying to do, make it a festival, blah, blah, blah. I know you can't confirm it yet, but you've got some sponsors. You're looking for more. If anyone did want to get involved with the event, is that still possible?
Absolutely.
Very much so. There's no limit on the amount of people we can have. The more money we get in, the more we can spend
Yeah, the bigger
on
you can go.
fairground rides,
Yeah,
bigger
absolutely.
marquees. We can go big,
So we're talking any involvement, banners on the track.
Yeah, well, we have a sponsorship package. Anybody's interested, shoot us an email.
Right.
And
Cool.
we do like a package which is a certain amount of tickets, camping passes, banners on the track, discounted trade
We will
stands.
work with anybody.
Yeah.
You know,
We'll have a
however small. If they want to put one banner up, we will work with you.
Cool. And it's obviously going to be bespoke to them then. Like you'll hash out a deal together. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Cool.
very much. We've got
Absolutely.
a standard sponsorship package which we think is a cracking deal.
Yeah.
And we've got quite a few people signed up. We got Mark Banks is on, who's my old friend from the Banks Honda Group, the Banks Group, the car dealerships. So
Yeah.
they're the title sponsor.
Nice.
So they're going to get the most.
So for anyone that wants the information or what do they need to do, email you, or is there a website, or what can they do to see it?
Email daisy@.wog.
Yeah, daisy@wob.com. She's the girl handling all that stuff. Trade stands is all on Eventbrite.
Yeah,
As is-
you
as
can
is
you
the-
can go on Eventbrite right now and buy your tickets, or you can buy a trade pitch. It's that easy.
So
We've
Eventbrite,
already sold a ton of them.
and you're right, Vmxdn.
Yeah.
And then that'll come up
That'll
August
come
the 27th, you said?
It's 27th, 28th of August. August bank holiday.
Yeah,
last
August
weekend
bank
in August.
holiday.
Cool. All right. Well,
And
there you
then
go.
the actual entries to race are open on the 8th.
Saturday the 8th
Saturday
of
the 8th.
January,
We
and they will sell out instantly.
I think so. We wanted to do it earlier, but the ACU had to rewrite their disclaimer.
Oh, okay.
And they wouldn't.
So
they couldn't
Saturday the
guarantee
8th of January.
is
That's
it-
when rider entries are open.
At what time?
I don't want to say that because it'll crash the bloke's website. So
Right.
people will just have to keep trying.
Well, we'll put this out before that then. So if you've watched this or listened to this, make sure Saturday
this will
the
be out
8th
before.
you're ready.
And I've got a couple of questions because I'm obviously going to be racing it. What's the track? Because also other people asked.
Oh, that wasn't the question I thought you'd ask.
What was you going to ask?
I thought you were going to ask what the prize money was.
Oh yeah, is there prize money or not?
If we can get enough sponsors, kid, I'll pay you. I ain't scared.
Yeah, that's
Breaking
good.
up on me.
No, but
the track.
yeah, track because
Okay,
obviously
so-
it's older bikes and it's
Yeah,
Foxhills.
absolutely. And I know people's concerns. That's what people always say. The track, too many jumps, da-da-da. So luckily, the guy who's working with us, Paul Cook,
He does a good job on the
he
track.
does a very, very
Brilliant
good
track
job.
builder.
He is totally on board with us. He knows he used to run with Chris Warren, the Langrish Club at the Ken Hall event. I
Yeah.
don't know if you ever rode
I've
there.
never raced it, but I've raced Langrish.
They know what they're doing, and they will work with myself and Wobbs 100%. We know what the track's got to be like for not just
Yeah.
the old bikes, but the older riders. You've got to cater for the...
Also, bikes sometimes have problems. The older bikes more. You don't
Yeah.
want to be coming down one of the steep hills with no rear brake sort of thing.
No, exactly.
No, not ideal.
So the
but
hills won't be the same.
I'm not saying the hills won't be there, because I think the hills are part of...
I think you need to have some of
Foxhills,
some
it's
of
the
hills.
jumps
You
that
won't
you're
be
going to be
ski
looking
jumping
at.
off the top as such.
No,
be
no,
more
no,
rolling
no,
down
When
steady.
we had the meeting, the very first thing they came out with, like, there's going to be no twin shocks, is there? Because the track is not suitable for them, which is fair enough. So that's why the oldest thing is an 89.
Yeah.
But, you know, like an O2 bike is...
Well, that
Oh,
thing
yeah.
behind you, that's capable.
No problem.
Well,
Totally.
more
Yeah,
than
that's
capable.
more than capable.
But they're going to modify the track. I think there's an AMCA championship there the week before. So the track will be already...
Oh, the track will be done before that.
Yeah.
Our track will be done, but way before
And
that.
the thing is, like, they got full... The track's permanent. The start gate's permanent. The watering system's permanent.
Do you know
It's awesome.
details of practice sessions, qualifying, any of that yet? No.
No. All I can tell you is the format will be 2 motos per day for everybody, and the
Starting on
on
Friday.
Saturday.
On Saturday.
So
Friday
so
scrutiny, Aaron.
Thursday from 12 o'clock, you can rock up and enjoy yourself.
So like a GP.
Exactly. Then on Friday is what I would call our meet and greet day, where you come up, scrutineer, talk a load of bullshit to your mates. I personally love the Friday. It's a great chilled day
Yeah.
to go and chat to people. And then Saturday and Sunday, full on race day, 2 motors per day, with the one team race that hopefully you'll be in, will be run on the same rules as the modern Motocross of Nations.
Is that depending on my results throughout the season if I get picked for that?
Well, you've got to speak to Mark Chamberlain. He's the team
Yeah, you
manager.
might be on both teams.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Could be.
I would actually like to race Destinations this year because at Redbud again, that was
Yeah.
a good race last
No,
time I
absolutely.
You did good there.
If
He
you
did- he
start
did
pulling
say
your
if you
finger
did-
out,
Yeah, I need to pull my finger out to get on that, but it's one of my... I'd like to do it. Might be the last time I ever do it on a team, but I'd like to give it a good shot this
You
year.
could do it on the O2.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Well, we'll see. If I got fast lap times on the O2, because I expect I raced Foxhills earlier in the year, we could go Destinations on
talking
that.
about Chamberlain, they obviously did some big Motorvision videos back in the day, the
Huge.
old school
Yeah.
stuff.
But
Surely we need a
They
screen.
were the people.
They're having...
I used to watch them as when I
Yeah.
was a kid. That's what I had the Motorvision.
They need a
videos.
screen, don't you?
Mark's going to have an area with them playing on
Yeah,
all
that's what
the
you
old
need.
interviews, all the old races.
That's what you need.
And they're going to be there with Alpine Stars, I believe.
Absolutely.
Got so many big brand sponsors on board. It's a bit mind-blowing, really. It's a bit scary.
I'm guessing, well, obviously Friday's going to be scrutineering, but it's going to be like paddock hanging out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
exactly.
proper
Well,
cool.
the beer tent's going to be cracking Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night.
Mega.
Fucking hell, I might have to stay off site then.
And
I'll
Thursday night.
need a good
Yeah,
night's
so
sleep.
it's 4 nights.
I thought you were going to
So
say
that's
you'd be
gonna
pissed.
Nah, I don't do that on race weekends, mate.
But the Sunday night will be big, kid. The after party is going to be huge.
So then, obviously, you can see behind us we've got both of the both of the bikes. One bike that's already built and one bike that needs building. Why don't we have a little rundown of what you're going to do to that to make it race ready?
Well, we've got to use as many as Tommy's sponsors as we can now because we don't want to offend anybody.
No.
And so-
and if you want to sponsor, well, not sponsor it, but if you do stuff for this bike, help me out because it'll be. I
We're
want to make
talking
it as good as possible.
Cerakoting,
Well, Rob's got his guys that do Cerakote, haven't you?
I've got to go to them, see if they want to do it. Because if you've got somebody else who wants to do it, then...
Well, what else? Well, you run through what we need for this bike.
Well, the biggest part is I've been messaged by Chad Watts, who used to be Ricky's mechanic, when Ricky was racing these. And
Ricky Carmichael.
Yes, and he's offered to do the motor. So he can build the motor, so we're halfway there with that.
Quite
I know
happy
he's
with
going to
that.
want to run a Pro Circuit pipe because I'm sure that's who he's set the motor up to work with. So that's going to get it handled. You're sponsored by K-Tech, so Chris is going to have to sort the suspension.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Whether we send the suspension off to be done or we find some good kit stuff of the era. But
It's a lot less work than that one we done before,
God,
isn't
it's
it?
so much less work, which is why, we're still building a few bikes for the race, but with my involvement as a promoter, I wouldn't have time to build 90s stuff. I just don't have time to build them. You have to make so much stuff and
But there's going to be, you obviously said there's going to be a 90s class.
Yeah.
There's a 90s class, yeah.
All of the bikes that you've built in the past, are they sold?
Yeah.
So are those people that have bought them going to race the bikes?
Most of them don't ride them, but I can get them back if we've got people for them.
Right, okay. So I'm just
Yeah,
thinking
I'm
if
not
the
surprised.
pros are going to ride the newer class stuff, the O2.
That's what we've decided on with setting the Nations class into the O2 class because...
Safer.
But also the guys, especially the Americans, maybe this is unfair, but a lot of the guys don't see the bike till the Friday of the race.
Right.
They ride up and down the road till somebody shouts at us to try and get the thing, a feel for it. Well, this way they can go and ride.
They can get an O2 in America.
They can get a modern one, and to be honest, the same geometry.
Right.
It's not going to, same motor, same geometry. It's not the same bike, but you get a feel for it. So they're not going to be completely jumping off.
And like Villopoto
450.
probably have his own suspension, I'd imagine,
He
wouldn't he?
might bring that with him. If not, we can build stuff. I've already contacted a few
Yeah,
people.
that's what people don't realise about the event. Guys like Tommy would have been practicing on that bike, a fair bit through the year, but guys like Ryan and Mike Brown will just rock up on the Friday, sit on the bike, and that's the first time they've ridden it.
So they're trying to learn the track, and we're doing the jetting and the suspension settings in a 3-lap practice.
God, it's sounding like it's playing into your hands here. You could be taking on Villopoto.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm going to have him.
That'd be a good weekend, honestly. I'm looking forward
I'm
to
buzzing
it.
for it. If it wasn't going to be any good, I wouldn't want to be involved.
Nice.
So
So, obviously, you're going to build a few bikes, like you said. You're going to make O2/01.
O2's, Honda and Yamaha's, the big change are 01 to 02.
So that's going to buy you a bit more time to do
And also,
promotion.
they're a lot easier to, you can buy the stuff. You're not having to make everything.
Right.
There's less stuff's discontinued. You can make them work. And we haven't got time to build 90s stuff. And I've got some other people who are prepared to help out, so that's good.
In terms of, obviously, you say you're going to buy a lot of stuff, and you made, obviously, a lot of stuff for the 96. Is there going to be any Doc Wob special bits
Oh,
or
very
like
much so.
little
No, we're gonna
fabbing
be
up
making-
bits?
We're going to make a lot of stuff.
Are you doing billet linkages, stuff
We're
like
gonna-
that?
I don't want to tell everybody because all they're going to do is copy us. So I'm just going to...
No, but what do you make that goes on that stuff?
At the moment, we only make big breaks for it, but there is...
Oh, you're going to start making new
We're going
stuff?
to make a lot more stuff for that shape.
But
bike,
you're
yeah.
the only person who makes all that stuff, or properly.
Will you make it then sell it?
Of course, I can't afford to give it away, Ken.
No, I mean, like, will you just make a one-off or you
No,
make
no,
like
no, we
50?
have to make 100 of everything.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be dripping in titanium
It'll
bolts.
be full of tie, full of super light stuff, and then we're going to make...
What's super light?
Shut up.
Super light, them really nice
This
T
is your
handles that we've been
opportu-
asking for.
Yes, them T handles that we haven't got.
No, we've been asking for them, but still not got any.
I fucking forgot, I'm sorry.
No, but the
Now, super light's a business I set up 4 years ago now. Because when we're building these bikes, the one thing you couldn't get was titanium bolts at a sensible price. And all mechanics have got a stash of bolts. And I was using my stash up and everything was mismatching. And I'm like, you know what? I think there's a market for good quality. So I started looking into it. A friend of mine does Formula One stuff. So he told me what I need to do. And then it's turned into a bit of a beast. Like we've just signed KTM factory racing. We've got factory Yamaha 250, factory Yamaha 450,
Shine Factory KTM.
factory KTM. And
So they're going to use super light bolts all across all bikes.
Hurlings across
Wow.
all the race team. And then now we've just had the gas side come on board, just do an order this morning.
Oh, mega.
Gas using it as well.
Yeah, so gas and... But
Husky?
also, not yet, but they'll be next.
They will be, won't they? Yeah.
Because they do whatever the factory tell them.
Yeah.
And what's good for us is the KTM engine department have ordered a fucking shitload of stuff, and every factory engine that comes out of there will be full of our stuff.
Oh, so you're
Inside
not
the
just...
engine?
You're inside the engine as well. You're
Yeah,
building
yeah.
everything.
Factory Yamaha, everything inside the motor is our stuff.
Wow.
And it's...
That'd
we've
be,
been working with factory Yamaha 4 years now.
That'd be good. So
Yeah, no, it's a bit
Guessing Superlight's going to be a big title sponsor of this race as well then.
Well, I'm going to try and shoehorn it in there.
We haven't negotiated that,
Yeah, that's it now. I can imagine knowing what it'll be everywhere.
But we're just trying to create a brand, because the working on the bikes is me, and the buying the parts from the teams in the past has been me. And when I stop doing it, it's like being a builder. Once you stop laying bricks, you stop earning money.
Absolutely.
And to have a brand which it doesn't run itself by any stretch, but that it's an easier, big investment. I mean, the investment's like a nosebleed when you do the orders.
So if you got that going on, why on earth would you get involved in this?
Because
more money.
No.
Once you've got a bit, they always want more. These people.
No, if you want money, you're getting into the wrong game and getting into promoting this game.
No, see, for me, once you were done at Farley, I was done, because I knew if I had to deal with the promoter from Farley, I wouldn't make it there. I knew full well I'd be getting a phone call. I'd ask for something, he'd say no, I'd tell him to fuck off, and that was going to be the end of the deal. You know what I mean? So I knew full well that would never work out.
But also, it's a new change, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no,
Very much.
I must admit, I had my doubts whether I was doing the right thing, but from the interest we've got from everybody, it was definitely the right thing. It was the right time, and it's the right venue. I don't know if did you ever go to the Grand Prix?
No, I've never been to Farley, and I've never been to
those.
I've never been to
those
your
GPs
race
at
either.
Foxhills were
I
the
can't.
amount of people there was unbelievable.
Foxhills, yeah. I never went to a GP at Foxhills. Obviously, I've seen in the
They were
iconic
huge,
race where
they
it's
were-
muddy and
They were huge. It was muddy.
Yeah,
that one,
but people when you mention Foxhills, they say, "Oh yeah, but it rained in '98 at the Nations." Well, it
Was.
did, but it was still an epic weekend. A brilliant.
there's no
event.
other mud race that I've ever heard of that gets mentioned as much as
Yeah,
that.
it was. There must have been probably 50,000 people there. It was epic.
It was a shit hole there.
So it
Yeah,
rained
it
at the
was.
GP and at the Destinations.
Yeah, they had the Destinations there in
98.
'98, but they had loads of GPs through the '90s, starting in about '92.
Yeah, it was the
250.
venue. It was the venue of the 90s.
I watched one the other day with
Foxhills
Coyote
was
and
the
Nunny.
very first place where they held a double header, a 125 and a 250. That's the first place ever in the world where they. And now it's commonplace. It's at every GP.
Yeah.
They were huge.
No, I have watched the Motorvision ones. They started putting them on Facebook last year, I think, some of the Motorvision stuff.
They
that
did
was
through
the-
lockdown, didn't they?
Yeah, that was the first one I watched.
No, they were
Coyote
they were
won,
big.
I think.
They were big
Carl
races.
Nunn second. I can't remember who was third.
That was mint, and it's kind of. I'm super into it. I've never been this excited about anything.
No, I'm re-energized about it. It's really given me a boost to be involved with Wob. I totally respect what he does, and I couldn't do my side of the job without somebody like Wob. So the pair of us working together, I think, is a good thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Seems like it's going to be a good idea to give it a kick up the arse with a bit of fresh air. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I'm
progress
guessing
is
it's a new
always good,
concept, is it, as well?
New
As
faces.
Are we?
I'm going to get
You
some
busy?
questions up for you, Wob.
Oh, sorry. I thought you.
I've done a post
I thought
yesterday.
You were bored there, kid. Sorry.
No, I'm a
normally,
bit bored, but
normally
I
just
always
checking in
crack
with his
on.
missus. She all right? She let you out today?
Yeah, I don't have to leave just yet. No, I put a little post on my Instagram yesterday with some questions for you, so I'm going to see.
Go on then. Run them out, kid. Let's hear them.
I did some
Ed's
as
got
well.
some as well.
Well, actually, fair
It's
play to
moving off
everyone.
subject from the race a little bit because you've plugged that enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Fair play to everyone on the 2 Pro 1 Slow, and especially you, Wob, because when you come on, we seem to get the most.
Yeah, we get bombarded.
Like there's scrolling.
It does seem to be a lot, in fairness.
There's plenty.
They're invested in you.
Before we do answer, or I'll give me
How
a
do I
chance
get
to
the
read through.
questions up?
I'll show you in a minute. Before I look through these, why don't you give us... I'm going to ask you a question myself. What is one of the biggest highlights or the biggest named people that you think you've ever brought over in the past?
I've got that in one of my questions.
Yeah, I probably asked it.
I mean, it's just a roster. You can't pick one name out. I mean, you throw out the names that we've done for Farley before. For me, John Michelle Bale. I mean, fucking hell.
It has to be Bale.
JMB. But then you got Jeff Ward, you got Ron Lachine, you got Ryan Hughes, you got Brownie. I mean, look what Brownie does. I mean, he's a machine.
Ricky Johnson.
RJ, and it's these.
Brownie's the living legend of today for that
like
race.
Benjamin Button, isn't he? I just don't understand.
Who's come the most, like, out of any
Brownie,
right?
surely.
Brownie.
Doug Zuback.
Dupak's been there every
Since
year.
2012.
Oh, he's been
Yeah.
10 years then. nearly.
Doug
Yeah,
Duback
pretty
rips still
much.
as well.
He does.
And Doug still really rides
I always
well.
used to see him at Glen Helen.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
that's
his
good.
backyard.
Even when I was in America, and then when I used to go over winter testing, he would still be he'd get there early and just smash out motors
Yeah.
every Thursday.
Brownie was my favourite though. That kid, for like 48 years old, wherever he is, fucking he can't. He's a machine.
Dean, I speak to Dean obviously a lot still, and he can't believe it. Every day not every day, but a couple of times a week he'll FaceTime, and he always just goes, Brownie's just. He says it's just an animal. He said he does the bike ride with him in the morning. He'll then be at the test track with him, watching him doing anything. And he said the other day the barn or something was away from the test track at Baker's factory. And I'm not sure if you've been before. I've not been, but he said it's miles away. And one of the rides, I think it was Malcolm Stewart, says, my goggles. I need a new set of goggles. And Brownie just went, I'll get them. And bearing in mind, mate, he could have just rode his bike back. He says he just ran and just started sprinting. Like the workshop's miles away, Dean says. He says just sprinted there, sprinted back, wiped a bit of sweat off his face, wasn't even out of breath, give him the goggles, and he couldn't wait to just run back as fast as he could. And then he goes to the gym, and he says he's just an animal, non-stop.
Yeah, he's mad.
He says does everything in the gym better than anyone else. Cycles, just can't wear him out.
And to build a bike for him, he's a gentleman. For the anger issues that I know he has, he's been nothing but because he knows we're doing the best job we can on the day, and he knows he's got a good bike, and he's so quietly spoken.
What's he going to ride if he comes?
I want to build him a Yam, but I need to speak to him and see what he wants us to build for him.
He's not tied into any manufacturer now.
No, we did talk about a Honda last time we spoke.
Didn't he race? What did he race at Loretta Lynn's this year? A Honda?
Husqvarna.
Oh, Husky.
Yeah. He's riding Husky over there because obviously the Baker factory connection. But he's not tied into a contract, so he can ride anything he wants. But an O2 Yam is a good tool.
Yeah, but you've told him that these are the best now. O2, Hondas, faster, better.
Yeah, but if you're building one for Villopoto, you may as well build two.
I'd like to build three.
Who's the...
I'd like to have all three of the Americans on them.
The little
Easy.
one.
We're not allowed to say.
Yeah.
Right.
We might have to build him a bike with no Yamaha stickers on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were going to do that for somebody before, weren't we?
We were.
And a cut-out seat.
Brownie.
I think it was.
Cut out
wasn't
what?
We
Cut
were
out
gonna
low
CR
seat.
500.
Oh, yeah, cut out. See, I thought you said you were going to cut out a bit what I said.
No, cut-out low seat.
No, I don't think we need to go that far.
I think this is a question about you, but obviously most questions are all about mechanicking. But this one says here, how did Robbie feel after he cased the triple chase in RC in '98? Christ, he came up short.
I don't even remember that.
With that Robbie Reynard, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. I mean, he was fast the second half of
Oh, I
the
thought this was you riding. I was thinking,
No, I wouldn't. I
was
haven't
thinking
been-
Oh, you're thinking Rob Waters.
Yeah.
No, not
that
me.
would have been 18,
Fucking hell.
88,
What did
not
you
90.
case a triple chase in RC?
Fucking hell.
I thought he might have been on the practice track.
I have, one of the last times I rode a motocross bike was at RC's track.
Really?
Yeah.
The
Well,
one
you
that's
thought I'll stop now because that don't get no better than that.
Well, then
I can tell that story for years
Brownie and
now.
RC came past me, and I'm like, oh, I'm done with this. Me and Davey Coombs actually were riding around.
Oh, wow.
how many years ago was that?
03 maybe? 04-ish?
Oh, look, O2.
Yeah, something like that. I went down there with Brownie. We were
Are you
down there.
entering? Why don't you race your own
I am
race?
not racing. I've got no interest whatsoever.
Oh, dear me. You not got any more questions then?
I can't get the questions up.
Well, someone here is obviously... you've obviously released two of the riders, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of them here is saying, are you excited to have RV over?
Yes.
Very.
Yeah, Ryan's a good egg. I've dealt with him when he was on 85s when I was at Smith, and we managed to get him on
I remember that.
the goggles, and I got to be good friends with the family, and
Yeah.
Ryan's a good kid.
Yeah,
Ryan's a really
Ryan's
good
got
kid.
right before Ryan's dad passed. Ryan's dad used to ride vintage bikes, so and Ryan has ridden vintage events in the States, and I think he just loves riding bikes.
I'm surprised because towards the end of his career, he hated riding bikes.
Yeah, he
And then
seems to be
since he's quit,
rejuvenated
he
now.
seems to be bang into it again, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's because he can have a beer after.
He's a good guy. He's a really good egg. I'm excited to have him.
Yeah,
over.
he's like a different man now, isn't he?
He's a different beast.
Yeah, he has actually. When I spoke to him, he said, "Is there a beer tent?" That was one of his.
Yeah, he
things that-
loves it now.
He's
Yeah.
a social boy. He's good
Yeah.
egg. He's a good egg. But towards the end of his pro career, he was actually hating life, wasn't he? He wasn't enjoying
Yeah,
it.
he seemed that
I
way.
remember the year he came over to do the GPs and he was not.
No, he wasn't in it.
He was over it.
He was over it massively at that point, and everybody criticises, but
Yeah, but it's tough, isn't it? Especially moving over and doing all
oh my
that
God, it's a
scene.
different beast, yeah.
Right, I'm going
It's
to...
hard to pick these questions.
There's just so many,
Just
isn't
throw
there?
him out, kid. I'll answer as many as we can.
Please ask Doc Wob which team and rider would he have liked to have been a mechanic for? Well, that's a bit different.
Yeah.
That's from 24 Sparky.
Oh, it's got to be. I could answer that. But
So
I'll
that's
let him.
not one who you've been, obviously. the questions who you'd like to, who
There's
would
only
you have liked
one
to?
rider and one team.
2009 Tommy Sill.
Who's your
probably,
who's your
that
one
would have
rider,
been
one
Dave
team?
Thorpe for sure.
You reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I'd have liked Kurt Lundqvist, Factory Yamaha, 1988.
No,
Yeah, Wob always has different answers to most.
no, it would have been 1980 Works Honda. Yeah, and it would have to been Dave Thorpe. for
You've
sure.
got a sweet spot for yams, though, if I remember
I've got a
right.
sweet spot for yams, and a Factory Yam is the nicest thing out there from Yas Maidman.
And what year was that?
88, 87.
And what rider?
Kurt Lundqvist.
So this is in the World Championships.
Yeah.
In the World Championships, yeah. I was
And
good
Jackie
for
Vimont, don't forget, he rode.
Yeah,
Jackie Vimont, he was coaching Ben Watson a couple of years ago.
yeah.
I think he might be again next year. I'm not quite sure. This has gone over my head, but what are your thoughts on AF conversions? Are they good or should you stay original? Any tips?
Stay original.
What's AF?
Aluminium frame. Like putting a CR500 motor in a CRF.
Oh, yeah, I see that. It's getting a
I've
bit
done
more
few of them.
popular. It
They're
looks,
hard work and they're really hard to do nice. And
a few people have done the
a few
new
people have done them, but-
2022.
Yeah,
They're a bit
I've seen a
sketchy,
few
I
in
wouldn't-
two pieces.
yeah, the
After
trouble
big
is that
jumps.
a lot of people don't factor in is things like airbox volume. Airbox volume is a big deal. You know, like a Pro Circuit sell a different air boot for $600. There's a reason
Yeah.
for that air boot, isn't there? Because it's different to the standard one. Well, these people who are doing a lot of these AF conversions, they're just connecting point A to point B with like a bit of gutter in pipe, and it's like
It's not going to run.
Oh, I
shit
know what
ain't
you're
gonna
saying,
work.
yeah.
Or they'll get a CR500 and they'll get a KX500 motor in a bike and they'll put a CR500 pipe on just because it fits. And I'm like, you
That's-
can't
yeah,
just
that's
fit where
something
it
that I
touches.
would
It ain't,
do.
and then they give it, we can't get the jetting right. It's fuck all to do with the jetting, kid.
Because when we were on factory teams, you test all that a lot.
Yeah, the best
They'll be
one
like
to
a little
do,
bit
the only
different.
one I would recommend anybody ever go at is RM250.
What, put an RM?
RM250 two-stroke motor
Oh,
into
and
an
an
RMZ
frame,
chassis.
yeah.
It's mint. Like the air boot goes straight
Oh, that
on, it
works
bolts
then.
straight up. It's the best thing in the world.
Well, this is probably a bit off subject, but well, no, it's on the RM. Did Pastrana do an RM Zilla thing, 500?
That was a Honda 500 they did,
It
yeah.
was a Honda.
It was
Yeah.
a Honda 500 engine.
Ah, right, okay. I thought that was a Suzuki.
No, it's Honda 500
Why,
engine.
did Suzuki never have a 500 two-stroke?
They did actually,
They
yeah.
did it in a quad, but it was a big
No,
one.
no. In '83, they had Harry Everts rode. The only year they did it was a bike they built for Brad Lackey. Brad Lackey won the title in '82 on an air-cooled bike. Suzuki developed a water-cooled 500 for '83. Brad retired, and Harry Steffen's dad rode it in the GPs. Yeah, no, totally for
Oh,
one
wow.
season only.
Cool.
Harry
That's
is
three
one of my
times
favourite
today,
people
Wob, that your motocross knowledge. 2 off camera and
Yeah,
1
I'm
on.
impressed.
Yeah, people. I'm not impressed with what people on this thought you had was the knowledge of it all, and I've done you twice today.
No, I think you need to rewind that for me.
Well, cut it. When is Wob making a YouTube channel?
Mate.
We would love to see a full rebuild on one of his bikes.
I can't afford Ed to film it.
I genuinely
I think
do
your
think
YouTube channel would be
a
massive.
YouTube channel in your workshop.
Yeah, so do I. The stuff, not me with building stuff, but the stuff we've been involved in over the last sort of 10, 15 years, I think would blow the
Blow
internet
people's
apart
mind.
for what we do.
Definitely.
Because what's not the difference is to people,
Load
you
of hard
do
work,
it.
if you ask me.
Yeah, you do it every day, so it's just work. But people are interested in stuff, and it's their dreams and their passion. So what you're doing.
Some
just
some
comes
companies
work,
now,
innit?
quite a lot of companies actually online. There's a car wrapping one called Yanamize. They do this thing called This Week at Yanamize, and every week they do a video of what they've done, and they wrap Lambos and all manner of stuff. It's one of the most viewed YouTube channels, millions of views, yeah. And it's only
You'd get
just
a lot
what they
of
do
views,
at
a lot
work.
more than you
You
think.
just got to find somebody who can film it. Anybody want to film that?
Yeah,
In-
message
Well,
in.
you've only got to go on YouTube, haven't you? And it suggests stuff for you, and the crap that I watch on there. If
You
I'm
just
watching
start
it,
flicking through.
Well,
I
just
even watch your stuff.
That is crap.
just from the videos we've done on your channel, the restoration builds have been some of the most popular.
No, they do seem to like it.
Yeah.
It's just, work for me. It's hard to believe anybody's interested.
Not sure if we've asked this one. Favourite bike he's built and why. I'm pretty sure we've done it on another episode, but you can touch on that.
Reynard's RM125 was probably the most special thing I ever built. That was crazy fast for a very short period of time.
Who wins at Foxhills, Brownie or Tommy, and why?
Depends how hard you work, kid. I don't know.
If I try hard
It
or
depends which Tommy shows up.
Yeah.
No,
if you want
Brownie-
to be there, it might be a different story.
What about the guy we can't mention?
Yeah. Well, there's two. It's not really between me and Brownie because the other two are going to be top notch. And
there's gonna
although
be some
Brownie's
serious-
going to be fast, I realistically should have the better of him. He's how old is he? 48.
9 or something next
Yeah.
year.
And
Yeah.
how
But
old
I
are
think
you?
that 32. But the last time I went head to head with Brownie, he beat me for the British Championship by 1 point.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So it's like redemption for me.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you'd be all right. You're just on a bike you've ridden before.
Yeah. Well, we'll do a practice day before, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I can vlog that, and then I can vlog the main race. What is happening with Farley Castle? Vets, is it moving to Foxhill? So we touched on that earlier. The other race is still happening,
far
but
as we know.
this is the one.
Nothing to do with that.
Yeah, this is the
Nothing
big
to do
one.
with that.
This is the one you've all known and grown up with.
This is that race moved to Foxhills.
Correct.
Sorry, Foxhill.
Foxhill, yeah.
I'm going to throw another spanner in the works here. Bit off topic, but would Wob do Billy's 610 bike build?
No.
Why?
4-stroke.
No, not for the... Oh, you wouldn't even want to touch the engine and
Fuck
get
no,
involved.
you ain't near that thing.
What do you think it needs? You've seen it earlier.
Everything.
Needs a match.
A match.
Not for me, kid.
What was the one that you sent to me? Was that not a 4-stroke?
That was a 2-stroke Husky 500 1985. Now that's
Ah.
a good tool. That's the best
Is that
thing.
still available for sale?
Yeah, I've got it.
Oh, you have that
I
now?
own that bike.
Ah, well,
I
yeah,
own
well,
two
that's
of them,
what we
actually.
need then.
I know guys that would be perfect for
For Bill's bike.
Billy's bike, but they will cost a shed load of money to do the motor properly on that thing.
All Bill wants to do to it, I spoke to him the other day about it, he just wants to weld it, make it safe and leave it exactly as it is.
Yeah, but you still need realistically, you need
he
the
needs
engine.
checking, yeah,
Not
because
for me.
he just wants to leave it as a shitbox.
Yeah, because if you don't, he don't need to go around his enduro track. He only needs to bog on one of them jumps.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. But
You need it safe, but he's just a dirty man, isn't he? Just like the suit.
Yeah, the bike suits him.
Bill.
It does, yeah. I couldn't believe the
So-
state it was in when I saw it in the shed.
yeah,
Yeah, but then he just went up and rode the track. Did you see the
I've
video of
seen
him
that,
riding it?
Yeah, and I cringed when he went over some concrete blocks or
Yeah.
something and he's smashing the frame rails on it.
that's
So
what he does all day, every day.
Yeah, but I agree, but it needs to be safe, and the
It needs a bit of
bolts
love.
and stuff. Yeah, it needs love,
Yeah,
even
it's a
though.
good-
You can't do
it's a
these
good
things
base
half-assed.
bike.
You're either going to do it or you ain't.
Yeah.
Fucking about and making it look like it's got to be right.
Yeah, well, just that bike just needs the engine checking and the frame welding, but he doesn't want to change any of the plastics or anything like that.
You probably wouldn't be able to get plastics for it anyway.
Yeah, not for me. Next.
If we're about to do a restore of a 4-stroke era GP bike, which one would it be?
None of them.
No, you've got to. It's not a choice. You didn't say would you do it.
I'd do a Wyndham.
I'll do Ryan Hughes's factory Honda from 02 maybe? 01? 01. Because I was supposed to work for Rhino in 02. He got hurt at the end of 01 on Steel City on that CRF 450.
He was an animal, wasn't he?
Oh my God, he was hard work on it. But I
He's
was supposed
fucking
to,
lunatic
I was
now.
supposed to fly to California to sign for Larry Brooks to be Ryan's mechanic for outdoors, but be second mechanic for Jeremy for Supercross. Never happened.
Why? Because he got injured.
He got injured and quit. Yeah,
Oh, he quit that year then?
yeah, he'd done.
Did you ever work for Rhino?
Only at Farley.
Yeah.
And I've been around him a lot, but I was signed up to be his mechanic for 02 at Chaparral Yamaha.
He is as mad as it
He
makes
was,
He's
him.
he
mad
was
as a
very
box of
entertaining
frogs.
when he came for
Was he?
us. Very entertaining. Yeah, probably a little bit, not as much as he is now, because obviously I watch his stuff on Instagram, but he was getting there.
Oh, he's just on his way.
He was on his way. Yeah, I think we finally sent him on his way.
That first race where he came and caught DeWitt right at the end.
He pushed
He
it
came
the
off.
wrong way around the tree
Yeah, he came off
on the
the
last
track,
corner.
and he said, "Oh, the bike's making a funny noise." And I looked down, and he's got oil all up his inside leg. And I look at the motor, and I'm like, "You're fucking kidding me!" And when he crashed, the bike fell on its side. He picked it up. Somebody T-boned him clean in the side, knocked him over again. When they hit him, they hit the tip of the brake pedal through the clutch case and knocked one of the towers with the springs for the clutch bolt on. Broke that off the inner clutch up. That's how hard they hit it. He gets on it, he's riding it. Well, now the spring is forcing the bolt to the inside of the case and just like machining
Oh my
the
God.
case out.
Was that
He's
last
flat
race
out.
on the day or not?
First race of the day.
Oh.
The bike's
Saturday.
fast. And he's riding flat out, covered in black oil, not looking down. And I'm just like,
Did you get him back out?
yeah.
Yeah, we had to rob a bike.
No, we didn't, because first race, Ron Lachine went at the back of somebody on the start, bent the gear lever into the frame
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and he
in
bailed out
first
the woods.
gear, stuck it in first gear. He didn't pull in for us to bend it out, blew it up in the back section somewhere, had a big off. So then we robbed the death out of that bike to get Ryan to. At the end of the first race, we had 2 bikes out. We had 3 there, and 2 of them were fucked.
Oh no!
Oh God, it was like
it's
the
not
worst.
plain sailing.
It was going to be the worst weekend of our life. But after that,
very long weekend.
after that, we had no more problems. So that was good.
So you like Frankenstein one out of another.
Basically, yeah. The pile of bits out the back wasn't pretty.
I watched some of the old Great Outdoors the other week, and then the year where Rhino and Brownie were going at it. That's probably one of the best I've watched.
I was
that
a
like
bit
10
torn
times.
that year because Brownie's my mate, and Brownie used to come with me in the truck when I was at Smith, and me and him got on really well, and we used to travel around a lot. But in the summer, my good friend John Lower was Ryan's mechanic, and Ryan spent the year on the road with us. So there was me in the Smith truck, Ryan in his camper with John, and we were driving back to New York, staying at our friend John Franco's house. So I spent all summer with Rhino that year. So when him and Brownie were going at it, I was like, well, Rhino's me pal, but so's Brownie, and it was a bit of a torn thing.
It was mad.
It was fucking awesome to see.
If you haven't watched it, you think you can just put Great Outdoors in. What year would have that been?
03, I think.
Yeah, and then the battles they had.
Oh my God, there was some.
Was it Steel
races.
City where they were just banging each other off the track, absolutely flat out?
You couldn't guess who was going to come around the next corner first. It was insane.
And then
Did we touch on that last
Yeah, no,
time?
we did.
Yeah.
That was the best race I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah. Remember? No, when you said
then
it.
he broke his leg at Southwick, taped it up and raced.
Didn't take his boot off, yeah.
He just taped it up.
What, in between races?
Yeah, he couldn't take his boot off because he knew he wouldn't get it back on again. So he went out with the same pants on,
No way.
duct tape up around his foot, yeah. Southwick as well, like deep sand. Man's an animal.
I think Alex Davis has asked
Keep
one
it
of the
up,
best questions.
No,
He's
just knackered for some
the
reason.
best UK motocross rider of all time, any era.
Thought.
Yeah, Dave thought.
Gotta be thought.
Is there only one? Is he the only 3-time world champion
Yeah.
of UK?
Yeah, I would, I suppose by results it would have to be Dave Thorpe, but I would go for somebody like Jeremy Watley.
Jeremy was talented.
Jeremy was so talented on a bike,
Jeremy was.
which is Christian's dad.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
He
Jeremy.
was unreal. On his
But
on his
Christian
day,
was the same.
Jeremy was unbeatable.
Really?
Oh, totally. I remember in '89, he went to Rob Hooper was his team manager. They went as a late entry to the first GP of the year in Switzerland as a late entry. Rocked up there. I think he won both motos.
Yeah, no.
Totally. He
wasn't even entered to the GP
No,
series.
he wasn't even entered properly. No, just rocked up as a late entry. Yeah, and
Wow.
when Jeremy's head was in gear, he was totally unbeatable.
Yeah, that is good. Well, Christian, very good rider.
Oh, yeah, Christian come on a bike. He's coming, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Christian's riding.
Oh, he'll be good.
Yeah, on a 125. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to extend that question. Then who's the best American rider of all time? In your opinion?
Rick Johnson.
Rick Johnson.
For me, the most iconic, the fastest I've ever seen, Stewart. Never seen anybody ride a bike that fast in my life. But you wouldn't, but Carmichael, if you were to bet on a guy to win a championship, you wouldn't bet against Carmichael.
No, Bradshaw, was he, because a lot of people, I think it's Deruva that always goes on about, no, is it? It's one Deruva always likes. I don't know if it's Bradshaw. Who else was one a bit crazy, like lunatic?
Yeah, Bradshaw was.
Bradshaw was a bit,
Yeah.
he was out there with Matasovic and whatever.
Yeah, no, I think it's Matasovic.
Oh, he's a freak.
Maybe that.
Oh, was that
Deruva
crash
liked.
that you've, Paris Supercross in 90
Just
or 91?
went flat out into the wall.
Oh, it was. I
Was that
there.
Bradshaw and Matasovic?
Yeah.
Yeah, they hated each other.
They,
They genuinely did hate each other. It wasn't like a pretend thing. They didn't like each other at all, from what I know. And only because I used to hang out with Denny Stevenson a lot, and Denny was really good pals with Jeff Matasovic. So I know he's mad as a box of frogs, that boy.
They're both still alive, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Damon's very much keen to come to the event, but he
Right,
just
so like,
will not.
So much going on.
He
there,
will
isn't
not pull the plug and say yes, I'll come.
That's probably the hardest thing you're getting. I bet there's a lot of yes man right now, but when it comes down to
Yeah,
exactly.
you sort of
getting people
know
over.
who's really keen and who's not.
yeah, I can imagine that's one of the trickiest parts.
All right, Ronaldi, De Groot, or Peyton, trickiest bikes, best tuner. It's hard to say, isn't
It's
it?
hard to
really?
say. You couldn't put a. You couldn't.
Was
It's not really fair to put one of those
No,
ahead
it's
of
not-
each other.
no,
It's
it's
not really fair. It's different. Like
different
I think they inspired each other.
Yeah.
You know, Mitch is obviously ever so successful of what he's done.
in his business?
Business, my God.
For
You know.
trying different stuff, you'd have to say De Groot. Because do you remember that in about 2003.
Yeah, see, I don't really know what DeGroot.
DeGroot came out with a
shock underneath
with
the
a
engine.
shock that led flat underneath the bike, and they raced it at the Spanish GP. It was totally bizarre. The bike is still about.
Yeah,
but
that's a trick thing.
You'd have to say he
ever
tried
so
different things.
Like innovative.
Yeah.
Actually, Ronaldi
Innovative.
bikes.
Innovative.
Ronaldi bikes a trick though.
Oh yeah, totally.
Always been trick.
Totally.
It's not fair. I ain't going to answer
No,
that.
it's hard to answer. I agree, especially if DeGroot. When I went, so what year did DeGroot pass away? 2006,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
5.
somewhere around that.
I believe, because I was the first winner of the Jan DeGroot Award of MXGP, and that's the newcomer, best newcomer to the MXGP or something. And I won that in 2006 with Molson. So I went to Monaco to pick up that award, and that's the Jan de Groot.
Sweet.
Fair play.
But I remember, obviously, I was on Kawasaki at the time, so the de Groot team was like the factory team to be on.
Yeah, very
absolutely.
much so. Yeah,
And because when Billy was there, de Groot had already passed away, hadn't he?
Billy.
I think so.
Mac.
No, I don't think he had. No, Billy was on the 450, wasn't he?
You keep asking me these things like I'm
Yeah,
some
no,
kind of
but-
fucking encyclopedia.
I'm
I don't-
sure they wouldn't have done unless they'd done the award where he's still there.
No, you wouldn't. I don't
No,
know.
so it was 2006. What year did Billy ride that bike?
Yeah, it would have been about then, wouldn't it?
Don't know.
Tricky. Wait, I had
Flockhart
loads more.
MX
Billy will know.
has messaged as well.
Who?
Stuart Flockhart.
Oh, yes, Stuart.
He's put the pressure on both of you here. He says, will we see Wob and Kinger take a lap round Foxhill?
No,
No chance.
in a mule maybe.
Yeah. in a
We're not
sort of
even going to
four
do the
wheels.
parade lap.
No.
No,
Oh, there you go. No.
no wishy-washy answers here, kid. You'll have a no.
You
from
just know.
Well, we've
Be a-
got
be a
this
hard
one.
no from me.
You've got
What?
make
How
a modern
come?
open two-stroke class at Foxhills. Would you in between modern and old, aren't we there with the class?
Say that again, sorry.
Someone says make a modern open two-stroke
No.
class, but you're in between because
Yeah.
you are and you aren't.
We're already... We want to still keep it as an old bike event. So...
Yeah, so you've in between. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, we're trying to make it still an Evo event. It's not just a two-stroke event. They're out there if you want to ride them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got that's the selling
I
point.
think you've got
isn't
the
it?
best of both worlds. Someone can do it on a modern era. Yeah.
Well,
like-
when I first started vintage racing in the late 90s, a twin shot Mako was only 9 or 10 years old. Well, these things there in 08, what was that, 13 years ago?
Yeah.
So, they are old bikes, although it doesn't seem like they're an old bike to you.
Yeah, they are.
there they are.
To
I
you
mean,
they
you're-
do, but to me they don't. Those things still look modern.
No, I mean, you're racing a 20-year-old bike. It's old enough.
Yeah, but they still do look modern. It's mad, isn't it?
Well, I
Like the
think
bikes
development-
change a lot, but then in the grand scheme of things, they don't change a lot.
No, when you look at the development now,
Yeah.
since you got water cooling and disc brakes, upside down forks, they haven't really changed a lot. have they?
No, that's what
they-
I'm- that's what
they
I'm
have.
saying.
They've
They have and they
developed
haven't.
them, but
Yeah.
they're not a different.
It's-
Not like the early 80s where
Yeah, exactly.
like,
Every week there'd be something different.
Yeah.
A disc brake would appear on the front, and then the next year a disc brake on the back, and then water cooling. There was
Massive
something new almost every
Massive
week, wasn't there?
massive changes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine from manufacturer to manufacturer, it was like, well, what they got, well,
no,
well,
yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
happen now.
And they were all at
You've
it.
only got to look at the development from say 77 to 82. Where 77 was like a twin shock air cooled Elsinore, to 82 being water cooled single shock.
Yeah,
It's
big difference.
Every year, it's just huge steps.
It's definitely.
Now it's very fine.
Well, you say
Different
that,
shaped
but now
plastic.
Fine now.
we're in the electric era now.
Oh yeah, but
I'm telling you, them things are coming, and they're going to
Yeah,
be
they are
really
coming.
good for our sport, I think.
What?
you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, what you're losing, the one thing you're losing is the noise. That's what you're losing.
That's all you
and they
losing.
sound horrible anyway.
And the noise fucks everything
is
up
causing
anyway.
all the problems. So why would you not want to lose that?
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you, Wob.
I think the smell as well, especially when you fire up the old two strokes and the smoke everywhere.
That's part and
Yeah, like
parcel
I fired
of
up my-
what attracts us
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
sport.
but we're already past the smell. When I fired the two-stroke up this morning, Ed was on the camera, and I just wanted to see the smoke and I wanted to smell it. But that's gone. You'd never fire a four-stroke up and go, "Oh, smell that."
Yeah, you do. When it's got VP race fuel, you can smell it.
Yeah, but different.
I don't know. When I was doing the goggle stuff on the start line of some of them supercrosses, I don't know what fuel Tortelli was running on that Suzuki. I couldn't stand behind it.
Why,
My
too
ears were
strong?
watering. I'm like, fucking hell, isn't that?
Even when
And then do you ever see the pictures of Carmichael when they had the tanks on dry ice?
No.
Yes,
But Redbud, they showed up at Redbud one year, and it's like sitting on the bike. It's like half an inch of like ice on the tank, and all this like white steam coming off the thing.
They
It was
would cool the
craziest thing you've ever seen.
because they reckoned it gave you a little bit more horsepower off the start.
There was that, but also the fuel was evaporating because it was getting hot.
Wait, so they took the tank off in between motos?
They would do that at GPs.
They'd fill the tank full of fuel
Yeah.
and drop it in dry ice
And let it sit.
and let it sit. Then put it on the bike
And then go to the
and
start.
go to the
Yeah,
start.
I can
It's
remember
the
at Foxhill's-
mentalist thing you've ever seen.
I remember at one of the GPs, maybe 91 or 92, when they first did the double header, one of the 125s come out. It was one of the, I don't know if it was one of the Ronaldi bikes. It came out with this special jacket over the tank that cooled the fuel down.
No, it was the craziest thing you've ever seen.
Whether it worked or not, I don't know.
Even at factory KTM when I first went there, well, it's known now you don't want your fuel to be warm, obviously. Like, if it's a cold day, if it's a hot day, you'll park your bike in the shade because you're like, fuck, I don't want the fuel to get hot.
I remember they used to put like covers over
Yeah,
your bike
even on
and
my
stuff.
bike.
Yeah.
But the fuel when I used to race Supercross, or not when I used to, like I've done it for ages, I fucking only done 3 rounds, but the smell, and even when you go watch the Supercross and walk through the pits, is something different.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and
What
when
a
I
lot of
raced in
people don't
America,
realise with Supercross is how hard it was to, especially 125s, because you missed that. But trying to jet a bike for Supercross was the hardest thing in the world.
To get them to like respond to fuel.
If you have like you go to Anaheim, and as the evening goes on, it gets cooler, bike starts running real good. You can't test that in the day because it's red hot.
yeah.
But then you go to an indoor stadium on the East Coast, and the air quality gets worse as the night goes on. I mean, they've got fans clip, but all the people in there breathing, all the bikes in there running, the bike's getting worse and worse. By the time the main event comes around, the thing hardly is fucking running.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
you're having to go leaner and
Don't
leaner and
think
leaner
about
and
that.
leaner, and you haven't got time. You can't test it because out in the car park, it sounds mint.
Yeah, it's
Until
true.
you go down in the tunnel and the thing starts running like a bag of shit, you're changing the jetting.
Did you do? So you worked a bit. You
Yeah, it
obviously.
was hard work.
How many years did you run? Sorry, it's fucking muddled all this up. But how many years was you a mechanic for Supercross in a 125 team?
Only
Two
one
stroke?
year. Only 1 year
Oh,
on
okay.
Supercross, but it was hard work.
And that was for
Reynard again.
Reynard.
That's the answer to everything.
Yeah, it does seem that you worked for. How many years did you work for Reynard?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just a year. But fucking memorable
did a lot.
year.
We did a lot
Yeah,
there.
you did a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
lot that year.
I'm going to go back to this race again quickly. What you said earlier was quite interesting. How you want to keep, off the back of your modern bike thing, you want to keep it as it is for older bikes and so on. Does that mean as the years go on and the event goes on, you're going to keep up with the times?
Correct.
So maybe you'll start running 2010 bikes in 3 years.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The trouble is then you start losing the two-stroke stuff a little bit unless you're just going to have KTMs and Huskies.
Well, when it's all electric, you'll be the only 4-stroke race about.
I mean, I haven't got like a thing against 4 strokes, but I just don't think that they've got the soul as a 2-stroke. You know, there's something about a 2-stroke.
I think one day we're going to have to bite the bullet, and you will have to accept them.
And start like they did in the race
You'll
series.
have to, because you
It's
can't.
not going to be half as fun restoring a 4-stroke, though, is it?
You say that now, but in 5-10 years'
Fuck
time,
me, the first 4-strokes were one
I
of the
don't
best
think they're
reliable.
going to
Doesn't matter.
survive. I don't think they're going to survive like the 2-strokes because you get like an
How can you get
like
parts
an
for
08
that
RMZ 450. They're getting written off now for electrical problems, and the people are just scrapping them. I don't think they're going to be about. You're not going to get the barn fines on a 4-stroke like you do the 2-strokes.
No, I agree with that.
I think they're just getting I think they're being chopped up to put 2-stroke engines in. They're being broken up because they'll drop a valve. They're not a viable repair, and then they'll go to a breakers.
Yeah, no,
I
I,
don't
do
think
agree
they're
with
gonna
that.
be
Them
about-
early 4-strokes, these ones a bit different.
Yeah, they're not going to be about. I don't think people are going to be able
But
to
there's like a
restore them.
little
The cost
few
involved.
years where I wouldn't want to go near. I wouldn't even want to fucking ride one.
Them early Kawasaki's fucking terrible thing.
I don't. I do have a thing about the YZ400, the 98. and
Yeah,
the
that's a sort of
to
different
me
story.
that's still a great. But I think
Start of the rot, if you ask me.
Start of the what?
Start of the rot, that was, if you ask me. Fucking things.
it was it was the start of the
I wish
change.
they'd never brought them out. We asked the Suzuki engineers, and they said we wish Yamaha never did that.
But
Really?
that you've got to agree, Bob. That factory bike of Doug Henry's
It's very trick. But did
and
the
the
racing?
Ronaldi ones.
But did the racing get any better? No. It didn't improve the racing. All it did was screw up the tracks, make the noise a problem, make it more expensive to do.
at the
It's fucked it all
time,
up. Thank
at
you.
the time, it drew a lot of people to the sport because it was like a field of 2-strokes, and there was an old 4-stroke there.
Fucking things, I hate them.
There was just a
Wyndham
one.
was
so it
one of them, wasn't he? Wyndham was like the first pioneer of 4-stroke.
No, it was
He was never on the Yam. It was
Doug
Doug Henry.
Doug Henry in like 98, 99.
It was Doug
and then-
Duback that actually developed the bike.
Ah,
He
right.
did all the test
I
riding
shall
for
bring
it.
it up with him when I see him then.
Yeah,
I see that for me, when I first started watching Supercross and that, I always
Jimmy
Wyndham
Button.
stood out as me as being a
Wyndham was on the
Honda.
450 Honda, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved. I get it wrong, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Jimmy Button, I remember on one of the first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jimmy
Yamaha
Button was on the works
and Doug
bike as
Henry.
well.
Yeah, nearly
yeah.
fucking killed him.
Yeah.
Well done.
Impressive, those for the viewers and listeners there.
Yeah,
A bit more
you-
respect for me after that, a bit of knowledge.
Very knowledgeable.
you've
You
done
like
a
the
bit,
chaser?
bit of homework.
Yeah, and then the Wyndham was when Carmichael was still on the 2-stroke and Wyndham was on the 4-stroke Honda for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you on this one because you obviously know a lot more about it than I
That's
do.
when I started actually watching. I was getting a little bit older, so obviously born in 89, so 2003, 4, I'd have been like 14, 15. I used to watch a lot of the AMA stuff.
Yeah.
So Carmichael was on a 2-stroke in 02. Then 03, you reckon he went?
I don't know the years, but I'm sure Wyndham used to race on a
But then-
4-stroke while
but then
Carmichael
Ricky rode
was
a-
still on a
Then
2-stroke.
Ricky rode a 4-stroke and then went back to 2-stroke when he went to Suzuki. 'Cause in 05, Ricky was the last 2-stroke to win a Supercross championship.
Yeah, you've lost me a little bit.
Yeah, you
We've
might
got
be
Redemption.
right.
So did he go 2-stroke, 4-stroke, 2-stroke? Did he?
No, he didn't.
Well, he rode Honda
He
4-stroke,
wouldn't
didn't
have
he?
done.
He did Carmichael rode a Honda
He rode
4-stroke.
4-stroke.
He,
So he must
he
have gone-
actually did. Yeah, I believe you're right. I
Yeah,
think
no,
he
4.
went back to a 2-stroke
He
Suzuki.
went back to Suzuki because Suzuki was the last 2-stroke to win a Supercross championship with Ricky in 05.
I think he just raced some outdoors on a 450. I don't think he done the whole season on the 450. I'm pretty sure he swapped halfway through the year.
05's the year that I came out and you took us to Supercross, me and my dad and friends and that, and we went to San Diego
Okay.
and pissed it down,
Oh, that was fucking horrible.
and I think that's the one where McGrath pulled a knack looking over on like the first lap.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
He done it for a few years, didn't he?
Well, I'm pretty sure, but it was fucking
One of
wet.
the coolest things I've ever seen was Carmichael's dad. It was Anaheim. First race Anaheim, maybe 05, was real muddy. Definitely 05 was on Suzuki. And I'm in there with Tortelli trying to get his goggles sorted out with roll-offs. And Ricky, anybody who knows Ricky's dad, he used to be up in the stands drinking beer. He wasn't like a schoolboy dad at all. And they're sitting on the bike and they've got duct tape on the hand guards and he's got all the foam on his helmet and they're spraying the stuff under the fenders. I mean, they're full mud prep. And his old man comes past and like taps the rear fender and Ricky looks up. And the old man's got like a Bud Light in his hand. He gives it. Don't forget, kid. He said, you ain't going to win the championship tonight, but you're sure as fuck lose it. Really? Carried on walking. I'm like, there's a voice of
That's
wisdom.
that first round.
There's a voice of wisdom right there.
That's what they all say now, don't they?
Yeah. And the
Right,
second
just-
funniest thing I ever heard was Jamie Dobbs' dad, bless him. I remember Jamie coming in, British Championship, couldn't tell you where it was. Somewhere. And he came in and Jamie started giving it, oh, this happened, that happened. And the old man gives it, can I stop you there, James? And he's like, what? He said, you know what's worse than listening to you make excuses? He's like, what? He said, me having to fucking listen to him. I'm like, fucking hell, mega.
Jamie used to tell me his dad was something
His dad
else.
was hard
his
on
dad
him.
was fucking, pig farmer, wasn't he? He didn't have time for bullshit.
I remember
Fucking hell,
one of the
he's a legend,
times
that
he pulled him up. Well, this is a story. I don't remember it happening, but Jamie told me he pulled up like 6 miles from home one day, pissing down with rain, opened the door and went, right, you're running home from here. Skin's waterproof. See you in a bit.
Yeah, he
Skin's
told me
waterproof.
that. He
I
says
know
that
Jamie
now.
said that a
Skin's
few times.
waterproof, though.
Yeah, but the old man was a legend, bless him.
Yeah, no. Jamie would be a good man to have at your race.
We'd love to have him there.
Jamie's been before.
He can't. His hands are fucked.
You can't ride, but you can
Jamie's
come.
been with Jeff Emmick
And they race.
2 times.
I built my bike. I
both
built on a
race.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah, if
500
Jeff comes,
Kawasaki.
Jamie will come.
Yeah.
They fucking, you don't, they're like 2 peas in a pod, and they. You
Yeah,
see him
I
at a GP, and Jeff's over, and Jamie's there. Jeff's asking where Jamie is, and if you see Jamie without Jeff, Jamie's asking where Jeff is.
They're like lost, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like lost
lost
without each other.
without
It's
each
like,
other.
you seen Jamie? And then Jamie's like, you seen Jeff? They're fucking.
That's a terrible Jamie Dobbin pair.
No, it's good.
Dude.
Don't. Where's Jeff?
At your race then, obviously there's going to be some riders that you've not named and will name.
Right,
and so on.
can't you get Carmichael somehow?
Is there going to be many milling about in the paddock?
It's quite nice. I would imagine for those riders that are a little bit older coming back, they was obviously famous, well-known legends. To come back and be involved and have all the fans out,
Oh,
it must
totally.
be a nice
You'd
feeling
be
for
a
him.
star again, won't you?
Yeah,
I'll tell you-
Star
nice
for the
weekend.
weekend.
I'll
It'd be
tell
nice.
you a story about Jean-Michel Bell. So the year I got him over was 2012. So I went.
Did you have to pay him a lot to come?
I went and you're breaking up on me.
No, well, just a question. Like, he must have. He wouldn't have come for free, surely.
It was on the back of Oxbow. The guy who owned Oxbow one of his dying wishes. Is he died? He was
do you know
poorly,
what?
wasn't he? I don't know if he
not
died.
very well, yeah.
But he wanted
He wanted to put the team back together.
So
From the Australian nations in '92, which he did, which was Vimond, Bolly, Bale, and Hughes Maria.
And they all come to your
They
race?
all came.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that was to do with him.
So that's the only time we've ever recreated a complete team from back in the day. I forgot what I was talking about now. What were we talking about?
I can't remember. Something about milling about in the paddock.
Yeah, so I went, the year I got Jean-Michel Bale over, I went to Bristol Airport to pick him up. And when we drove into the event, I don't know, about 5 o'clock on the Friday, he looked down from the van. He looked at all the vans and he said, "This is a vintage event." And he just could not believe how many people were interested in coming to see old guys on old bikes. He was absolutely blown away.
Very cool.
Which is pretty much common with especially the Americans. They cannot believe it because it is the world's biggest.
Don't have that out there, do they?
No,
really?
It doesn't exist.
If you go to like the Glen Helen races, nobody's spectating, is there?
No, it's just a riding event out there. It's not a spectating event where.
Do they
like
try
the
and
World
do they
Vet
try and do
Nationals,
something in America similar then?
Nah.
There is
Not
there is a similar event at Unadilla which it does
do they?
very well, but it's still not on the scale of what we do.
Right.
No, they don't fly UK riders out, do they?
No.
Or French riders or stuff like that.
Can't imagine how cool it would be if you could make it like a 3 weekend, like we did one in England, one in America, and one somewhere else.
We actually have been approached to do a similar thing in Europe.
Yeah.
But
in Holland, is it? Or Belgium?
in Italy, in France, and in England, which we may well look at for next year. But for this year, we want to get this going on its own 2 feet and keep going like that.
Definitely.
Do you have... is Chiodi the only Italian you spoke to?
No. Believe me, I've spoken to them all. So I've got a friend who lives near Milan, who he will be my. He knows all those guys.
Yeah.
He speaks Italian. I don't. It's much easier for me to say to him,
agree.
look.
I spoke to Philip Hartz, yeah.
Yes, we have. We spoke to David Philip Hartz. He was keen, but again, we haven't got a commitment from him yet.
I think they need to see... Well... You need to sort of, as a rider like that, you can imagine it's someone going to them and saying, "No, we've got a race with vets," and then once they, like you said, once they turn up, they just go, "Fucking hell, this is a bit different to what I expected."
Getting them there is the hardest battle.
Getting
Once
them
they're
there, they love it.
And like Mike Brown. Mike Brown was hard work for me to get there first, but once he came there, you can't get rid of him now.
It's on his calendar every year.
Yeah, no, he loves it.
No, it is, though.
He says it's the best race he does all year.
No way.
And for a guy like that who's been everywhere,
And he wouldn't mess about even coming because it's a fucking big old deal to come over to come to England for him.
especially
to
this year with COVID and that, it was a total balls ache.
Yeah, and he's still done it.
Yeah, and he still did it.
What's
It's funny with Brownie because people come over all the time. Is Mike here? And I'm like, if you can't see him, he ain't here because we walk through that door at the back of the tent. He's like Mr. Ben. He fucks off. I don't know where he goes. I don't know where he does.
Really?
I'll tell you a true story. So I do all the logistics for the flyaway riders. So I book the hotel, book the rooms. I book a hotel room for Mike every year. Perhaps I really shouldn't be telling you this, but he is yet to show up at the hotel. Where he goes, I have no idea.
He goes, but in between races, I don't know where he goes.
He just turns up, does his thing, and he disappears. You never see him in the beer tent, do you?
No, never see him anywhere. I don't see him in between races. He walks through that door.
he might probably goes and sits in his van or something. Do you give him a van?
No, he doesn't.
Universe. I don't know where he goes. He just disappears.
Does Finbar come to the race?
Finbar, I've only ever seen Finbar there once this year.
Finbar comes and Finbar's mum's there a lot. And
Yeah.
There seems to be a load of them. There's like, when they show up, there's like 15 kids all sitting on the bike having the picture took and all that. But it's a family race. It's all right.
Oh,
Yes, it is a big family event.
Yeah,
isn't it,
no,
now?
my kids absolutely love it. They go.
Yeah, you mentioned last time it's like the
Don't
best
come to any
weekend.
motorbike races, not interested. But Farley, massive
It's
weekend.
because they're free range and they can see what their dad's doing. They see their dad working at home, and then all of a sudden they see people.
Yeah.
People are interested in what their dad does. Which is, I think is a great thing. It's
They're
great
probably just
education
thinking
for
some
them.
knob in the garage. Like, what's he
That's
doing?
what they're doing, yeah, rattling around some old motorbikes, and all of a sudden somebody's taken half interest.
Oh no, it'll be good. Can we have a list of confirmed riders, or is that too much to ask?
Too much to ask because the
We're
entries
still so
haven't opened
early,
yet,
yeah.
and a lot of.
I reckon we get a lot of good UK British Championship riders as
definitely.
well.
Oh my God, yeah, they're coming out of the
Definitely.
woodwork now. Yeah.
So you've got from the UK, I could tell you, you've got your Brad Andersons. Hopefully,
Bradshaw will be there, smashing
Neville
it.
will be there. Yeah, Gordon Crockard.
Hopefully Jake Nichols,
Nice.
my teammate.
Yeah. Yeah, we will not be short.
Yeah,
of
I'm sure
the
there's
big
going to be
names.
so many. I think if a few join in, like obviously I want to do it, and the plan is to do it, and something has to happen for me not to do it, sort of thing. But once I think the ball will start rolling, because then they think, fucking hell, he's doing it. Like, let's go, let's build a bike.
Absolutely.
Projects for people even a bit younger.
That's the only trouble is you can't decide like the week before. You need.
Is there no age limit at all on the?
There's only 2 classes where there's no age limit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like a 16-year-old can race the class.
As long as they've got an adult license.
Wow.
They
Well, I think you get quite
Plus
a
and
lot.
Evo Ultra. We've called them. Two
Yeah,
classes.
to be honest, I don't think we'll get many 16-year-olds do it. It'll be, I don't know.
No, but I think you'd be quite surprised.
Really?
Yeah, maybe not 16-year-old, but I think you'd be quite surprised.
I think you might get the dads wanting to build the bike they used to race
Yeah.
for the kid.
Yeah.
There might be a bit of that.
Correct.
Well,
And their kid can then race Villopoto. Like, that's pretty cool.
No. So Villopoto will be in the race, hopefully you'll be in, which is by invitation only. So we're very strict on that that the riders in your race have earned their place to be there.
Okay.
Unless Ryan, of course, wanted to do another group, which he may well want to do.
in the group that
Fucking fine
that the
bike.
pros or whatever you want to call them are going to be in, is it 40 riders or 30 riders?
39.
39 on the game.
12 teams.
12 teams.
No, 13 teams.
And we've got 11.
Oh, I
Is it
forgot.
13?
Yeah, the
My
race
maths
you were
isn't
thinking
good.
is a team race as
Yeah.
well.
You've got 11 already signed up, haven't we?
So
Yes.
when you say team race,
You can enter without being in a team in that race, can't you?
No.
You can't enter the team. You can't enter the VMXDN class.
and the VMXdn class, all 3 riders from that team
All three-
racing that
Yeah,
race.
every race. They all
But you
three
can have
riders,
another
no.
British rider in that class.
Yeah, 3. So that was what they just said. So if you enter with a team of 3 Brits, they race
Yeah, so like
against the American
Nev
3.
can do it. Jake, like,
Nev's Northern Irish. We all know he comes from Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
So
he's got that funny Northern Irish accent.
that's
doesn't
who we
is he
ride
from
for.
Ireland?
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, but say not Nev then. Say the 3 other
2 of them if
English
you're going to do it.
riders. So no, what Northern Ireland's
The
classed
rule
as
is
what?
the rule is for the
Northern
class.
Ireland.
Yeah.
How hard is
That's
this
not
for
Britain no more. Is it not? That's not Great Britain then, Northern
Of
Ireland.
course it is. Northern Ireland's English, isn't it?
So it's not a British team
you?
then?
No, it's Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Separate
There's
on
a
its
Welsh
own.
team. There's
Oh.
a Scottish team.
Oh, okay.
So on the Welsh team, we've got Mark
So it's
Mark
England,
Jones.
Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Just every country has a separate team.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Home
okay.
nations, I guess you call
And the
that.
deal is you have to have one guy over 40 and the other 2 have to be over 30.
Okay.
So you can't be having bits of
Can there
kids
be
riding
2 teams from England?
Yes.
them. Yes.
Okay, that was what I was getting
Yeah,
at.
Yes, there will be.
But all of them teams with all the big names are all going to be in one motor.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether those riders want to do another class, which they probably will,
It's up to them.
Yeah.
that's fine by us.
And each team, if you like, they do 2 motors on the Saturday, 2 motors on the
Correct.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So 4
All 3
motors.
riders
Correct.
ride every race.
Correct.
You don't get to just want to, there's no...
How's points scored?
As per the modern nations.
Lowest
1, 2,
1.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And lowest points win, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you ditch a result?
No.
No results ditched.
No.
We don't even thought of That's me saying no. We haven't even
I
discussed
don't.
it. have we?
Yeah,
Drop
I-
around. They used to do that at my schoolboy club.
That's what they do at the Nations Day. Drop your worst result.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to rephrase that then. Yes, I think they do ditch the worst. We always used to.
Yeah.
So I think, we can work on that.
So out of the
We're
4
making this shit up
motos,
as we go along.
you knock the last or
the worst
the
score
worst
off,
score.
Yeah, so if one rider has a DNF,
That's cool.
yeah.
What does Wob want for Christmas?
Loads of people to enter his race and loads of people to buy tickets
you
and come
can't
to his
enter
race.
yet.
I want a week off.
A week off.
You have to start now.
I want to set a T-bar, titanium super light T-bars. I'd love.
I've fucking
You've not
like
got
some
any
of them as
yourself.
well.
You've had to sell them all.
We have sold out again. Yeah.
What else have I got on there? People are asking how much money you make, but it's a lot. You wouldn't want to tell everyone how much.
Minimum wage, kid. Minimum wage.
I was going to say that actually. If somebody thinks that we earn a ton of money out of promoting this event,
You're right.
no, you're wrong. If I was to work out the hours I put into this, okay, I would probably earn more money at McDonald's, and I'm deadly serious about that because I do something for this event every day of the week.
Yeah.
I never stop. I'm relentless with it. You've just got to be.
And you're not from a motocross background,
No,
are you?
I have no motocross background at all. I used to ride at AMCA.
So you did ride?
Yeah, I did ride. Yeah, I'm a builder by trade. So like yesterday when I had a Zoom call with Wob at 2:00, I was sat in the van doing a Zoom call when I should have been laying bricks. So if I'm not working, it's it's costing me money.
Yeah.
It's not illegal to make money out of
out of things.
It is
No,
time
definitely.
consuming. Jesus.
It's time consuming.
Well,
Yeah, very, I
hopefully,
can imagine.
this year it's obviously going to be new for you, and then hopefully it grows. And I wouldn't say it's going to become easier for you, but you'll sort of know what you're doing. And
Yeah, what's been crazy time consuming for us this year is we've had to come up with the classes, we've had to come up with the prices for the camping.
Yeah, you'd think that's really easy, but it's
to make it
really
all
hard.
add
You
up.
can
And whatever
sit-
you do, somebody's going to moan.
Yeah,
isn't
you
it?
can sit down and look at it for days, and it just gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
You're trying to please everybody, and that's impossible.
yeah,
Then you're writing sponsorship proposals. It's all got to be done.
Yeah, it's a big old. It's a big.
It was a lot to do.
It is a lot to put
A
together.
lot of that's done now. So
cool. Well,
Just
are
going off subject. Or go on. What do you want to say?
I was going to say, are we happy, or just is there
Well,
anything
we'll
else?
go. Someone's just asked about the Supercross next year. Your predictions, Rob? Are you going out to see it or not?
no,
When was the last time you went to America?
2 years ago.
I think we said it before. But no, you don't fancy going back out unless it's business. I'm sure it's business trip.
I have got to go at some point, but towards the end of the Supercross, I'll go out and start talking
Any of
to
the
some
American
teams.
teams using Superlight?
Yeah, we got Hep Suzuki, we got Phoenix Honda, we got the PRMX Kawasaki team. There's a few others.
Yeah,
as well.
a few
We've got
teams.
that Davalos's new Honda team on the stuff.
Any British teams?
Yeah, we've
loads.
got lots of them. We've got
Loads of the British
Apache
teams in, like, the-
yeah, Verdi using them, and the
Dave
Yamaha
Thorpe.
guys. Not Thorpe, no. Thorpe's not been on board.
Why not?
No, we send him stuff. Ryan has stuff.
Yeah, Ryan talks to you a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, Ryan has a fair bit of stuff, but
I don't think we use that many titanium bolts on our bikes, to be honest.
no, you don't. You have some stuff like seat bolts that we specially make and whatever. If
Yeah.
you need something special, we'll send
Do any
you.
new bikes come with titanium bolts?
No, we're working on that.
Out of the factory, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it?
Well, that's a big move, Rob. Straight out the factory, titanium bolts.
Well, there's talk of it.
That'd be
First off,
nice.
we got to get on the KTM hard parts catalogue. That's next year's program.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Then all the dealers have to have it.
That's right.
They force it on the dealers, don't they?
You have to be on the race team before you can do that.
Right.
Now we've cracked the race team. We'll have to just.
I'm sure it'd be a next step, wouldn't it?
It's just a bit scary.
Well, I'm happy to wrap it up. Back's aching.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I think we'll have a quick recap then. So, August the 20.
August bank holiday, 27th, 28th, something like that, is it?
It's August bank holiday.
August bank holiday.
Just book 4 days off for August bank holiday.
Eventbrite to go and buy tickets.
Correct.
MX. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to read your shirt.
Vmxdn.
Vmxdn. Foxhill.
Foxhill.com.
Daisy at. Is it Daisy?
Daisy at .wob.com for any inquiries.
And see you all there.
Should be good.
Or they can find me or Bob on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, not hard.
Has it got an Instagram page, this event?
Yeah, same again.
At VXDN.
Yeah.
I'll give that a follow myself.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. Hope
Blow it up.
everyone's
Let's
enjoyed that.
gonna
Enjoy
better.
yourselves when you go to the race. We'll no doubt be there. Look out for 4 parts of building the bike. And can I have a media pass to the race?
No.
Oh, fucking.
Go anywhere you want, kid. Anywhere you want.
What we need to do is bring this. Bring the podcast.
I think you should do this
Absolutely.
live Friday night from
Yeah.
the
We
track.
have actually thought about doing live.
Totally.
I'm sure this here clever box can do live, or we can plug it out somewhere.
No, you do it live Friday night.
You're
Imagine
very
that.
welcome.
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
You're going to get some sponsors
Live stream.
on.
Can we
Load of
live
give-
stream our videos on YouTube yet?
Load of giveaways.
I'm not clever enough to do that, but they
People
live stream.
do, don't they?
Someone will do
Oh,
it.
yeah. Well, you can live stream anything on
All
YouTube.
right. Anyone that can do live streaming, get in touch with me as well, so we can set this up, so we can live stream a podcast.
We
We
know
might
a
be
man.
able to help with
Yeah,
that.
we know
Really?
a man.
Do
Yeah,
we?
Let's talk
Yeah.
of it, yeah.
Well,
Ah, are we going to live stream the event?
yeah, that is a big thing. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah, we think so.
That would be
That'd be
nice.
really
It's
cool.
not signed up
Well,
yet,
that's a
but-
big move for people, for sponsors to have it live streamed.
Yeah,
That'd
but
be mad. Because
double-
you get
it's a
everyone
double-edged-
watching in America
It's
as
a
well.
double-edged sword because people might not want to come to the race if it's live stream.
Yeah, but then you get America, then you get
Yeah, but
the
your
world.
race is going to have that atmosphere that you can't get from
You
live
can't
streaming.
not,
Exactly.
you can't not go, can you?
You've got to be there.
You're going to have the smell, the atmosphere, the riders, the...
Especially when I import a container full of air horns.
I've got an
Yeah.
idea. You can charge. How much is the ticket? Or do we not?
£20 a day.
£20 a day.
Well, £40 for the weekend.
No, £40 for 4 days.
Yeah.
So it's for nothing.
What you should do is make the live stream £42, so it's cheaper to come. Then they'll have to come.
No, but live
But
stream
yeah,
would
that
be
would be
cool.
good for sponsors and it'd be good for like people who can't make it. I understand
Yeah,
that.
we want to take the event to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. Right.
Definitely.
It's one of those
That's
events that
definitely in
you've
the
got to
pipeline.
go
Let's
to
just say
get a
that.
feel for.
I'm not going to say it definitely is because it's not a signed deal yet, but it's in the pipeline.
Yeah, it's worth noting that we're 6 months out from the event, so things can change.
8 months.
9 months, isn't it? 8 months, 9 months.
Oh, yeah, shit, we are. Right. Well, thanks everyone
Perfect.
again
Thank
for
you.
listening.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thank
guys,
you.
for coming up. And hopefully it's a success and we'll see you all there.
See you later.
Cheers.